For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Simply stated, as it applies to you and me, it means we can achieve nothing without paying the price. Now, what is that price?
Good day, everyone. The topic for the day is Surds. And this one is more directed to the grade 10s, okay? Right, so the topic for the day is Surds. Right, now, by definition, Surds is an irrational number. It is any number that includes a radical symbol. A radical symbol and cannot be calculated exactly. By a radical symbol, I'm talking about the square root, okay? I'm talking about the square root. It can be the cube root as well, all right? So this one is just a radical symbol, all right? So surds, they are irrational numbers, okay? They are irrational numbers. They are irrational numbers. Now, I think we need to start somewhere. We need to start with the square numbers, okay? What are the square numbers? It's 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49. You can list them, okay? So these are the square numbers. Now, why do we call them square numbers? Because if we apply the square root on them, we are going to get a rational number. If, for example, I say the square root of 4, that will give me 2, okay? And 2 is a rational number. 2 is a rational number, okay? If I say the square root of 9, say for example I say the square root of 9, that will give me 3, okay? And 3 is a rational number. All right, so now let's go back to the surds. All right, let's go. Right, normally you will be given say for example you are given normally you will be given maybe for example the square root of 5, and the question will say between which two integers does the square root of 5 lies. All right, so normally that's how they ask the question. So they want to know between which two integers does the square root of 5 lies. So we know what you need to know is to know the perfect square numbers, okay? 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, and you can mention them, all right? So you need to know them, all right? Now you look at 5 there. So if I take the square root of 4 like this, all right, that should be less than there. And then I'll have the square root of 5 less than as well. And then this will be the square root of, all right, so it means I'm taking this 4 and I'm also taking 9 there, and I put root 5 between the square root of 4 and the square root of 9, okay? So what is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2, and then there we have got root 5. Now what is the square root of 9? That will give us what? 3, okay? So the question will say between which two integers does the square root of 5 lies. So when you come, you do your calculations, you show these steps, okay? It's important that you show these steps, all right? Now at the end you need to say therefore the square root of 5 lies between 2 and 3, okay? That will be your answer. That will be your answer. So the square root of 5 lies between 2 and 3. Now, if you were to draw a number line, okay, you are going to have 0 there, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. You can go on, okay? So we said the square root of 5 lies between 2 and 3. So you go for 2 and 3 there. All right. So the square root of 5 lies between that interval then. All right. So now, hopefully everyone is good with that one. What we need to do now is to check. Right. Now, if, say, for example, you are given maybe the square root of 16, okay? And the question says, between which two integers does the square root of 16 lies? Right. This one, you just simplify it straight away. The answer that you need to get, the square root of 16 will give you 4. All right. You don't have to do this. You don't have to show any calculations like this. You only do it for the rational numbers, okay? For the rational numbers, for the Surds numbers. Rational numbers are also called Surds numbers. So those are the only times you do it. So say, for example, now you are given the square root of 10, okay? And then the question is still the same. Between which two integers does the square root of 10 lies? All right? So you need to indicate. So this is how you are going to do it. The square root of 10 will be between, 10 is between what? It's between 9 and 16. So what you need to do is just to write the square root of 9. That should be less than there. And then you have your square root of 10. And then less than the square root of what? 16. Now what is the square root of 9? The square root of 9 is 3. That's less than the square root of 10. And then that's also less than what? 4. So your answer will be like this. You will say the square root of 10 lies between 3 and what? And 4. The square root of 10 lies between 3 and 4. So that will be the answer there. All right. Okay. Now, say for example, you are given the square root of what? 21. So there it means you will use the square root of 16 and then you say it's less than the square root of 21, and then that also less than the square root of what? 25. Okay. Now the square root of 16 will give us 4, and then we have got the square root of 21, that is less than the square root of 25. What is the square root of 25? That is 5. Okay. So now to answer the question, you will say that the square root of 21 lies between 4 and 5. So that will be your answer. All right. So that's how you have to do it. That's exactly how you have to do it. Now, thank you guys for your time. Subscribe to the channel so that it grows further, and then it will